What's up, you guys? Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Nights to talk to you about physical media, about Blu-rays, 4Ks, and DVDs, the way we like to buy and own our movies and TV shows and play them in a player and watch them when and how we want. If you're a movie collector, want to be a movie collector, or just want to talk about movies, I think you're in the right spot. Hit that notification bell to be notified when things are coming up. Hit that subscribe button. Join the conversation. And if you like what you see, a like is very much appreciated. Very much helps get the word out on the algorithm here on YouTube. I keep saying I'm going to fix this hulking thing, but I haven't done it yet because I'm a procrastinator, and that's, common in our little club of movie collectors here. I've been doing a lot of pickup videos as of late, and it tends to happen this way. It comes in big spells for me. Like I'll be buying a lot of stuff, and then we get a pile. I get them watched and start talking through them. We'll do bonus features, breakdowns, and movie reviews, stuff like that. But for now, I've got another pickup video. I went to my local McKay's and picked up a few things. I went in there, and usually, so McKay's is, the equivalent to Book Off or Half Price Books or Bull Moose, The Great Escape, whatever you happen to have that's a used media place in your area. I think McKay's is more of a local, more of a southern thing. It's the one I go to is obviously Nashville. I believe there's one in Kentucky. If you have a McKay's near you, let me know. But I do feel like they're a small chain and mostly southern. But anyway, I think these places are really all the same. Usually, I'm happy if I go in there and I find one thing, because one, the collection is pretty large, and two, with our community shrinking, we tend to keep our stuff a little bit more. The thing that I do find most amusing is when there's a new edition of something coming out, you can tell in the used stores because you'll see 10, 15 copies of the previous edition because everyone's selling that one used in order to prepare for the new. Usually the jump from Blu-ray to 4K. So I did see some of that when I was shopping, but it was weird. I feel like someone who is like my doppelganger had sold their collection because there was a lot of things in there that I already have that I love, and a lot of things that I wanted, but I was very, targeted with my purchasing. I didn't spend a lot, didn't want to buy a lot, but I did pick up a few things. So we'll take a look at them right now. I do just want to pull up my screen here so that I can make sure. I'm pretty bad with years sometimes, especially post, Rona. I feel like everything runs together. So yeah, I do want to just pull that up here as I go through these. So the first thing I picked up, and I debated on this one. The price was okay, but the collector in me made me buy it. This was only $3 or $4, $3 or $4 cheaper than it would be had I bought it new. But if you're a collector like me, you'll understand why I bought this one. And it's Pig. I've been meaning to add this to my collection, but I wasn't in a rush because this is released by a company called Decal. And Decal is notorious for their crappy compression that they apply on their Blu-rays, including this film right here. There are notable artifacts in this movie, compression artifacts, not in the original movie, in the Blu-ray pressing. And I don't know why Neon, for example, keeps using Decal when every release they put out, including Spencer, which is, a pretty iconic film now, is shitty. So anyway, I wasn't in a rush to get this one, but I did want to get it in my collection. I kind of held off on it, hoping for a 4K, and I don't know if that 4K is going to happen now. So I saw this one. It's only, like I said, $3 or $4 cheaper than it is brand new, but the collector in me was like, ooh, I can get it with the slip. And it's it's not even that special of a slip, but it's a slip. So I took it. So anyway, it's in good shape. I would wager it was probably watched once and then flipped, because this is not a movie for everybody. This movie was sold, it was from 2021. This movie was sold as John Wick, with Nicolas Cage as John Wick, and it is kind of that, but it's not that also. It's not as epic in its level of fight scenes and stuff. So, and it is a much quirkier story. You know what I think would be a funny double feature? I should say, you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say that I'm going to save that for a movie theme Monday, because those are coming back in 2023. I have a really great double feature for this. Anyway, let me know what you think if you guys have seen Pig from 2021. All right. So continuing on, I know that so our next movie is, and this is one I really had to check the year on. This is from 1997. And this is a David Fincher movie starring Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. It's The Game. Now, this is a risky purchase because it's a Criterion release, which is awesome, but who knows when Criterion is going to be putting out 4Ks, because they're reissuing so many things in 4Ks. And then I almost feel like this one could be one that would revert to the studio for a 4K release. But it was so cheap. When you can get a Criterion for, $15 or under, and I think this was $13.99, I just thought, and I've kind of been in the mood to watch it, so I grabbed it. So, as I said, it stars Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. I really don't want to talk too much about this movie because this is one you really should really go in kind of cold on. Just know that it's very David Fincher-esque. If you like David Fincher's early films especially, this is very much has him written all over it. I mean, I know that's kind of a shitty explanation, but I don't really want to talk too much about it. It's just it's such a fun movie, and I don't want to spoil it. It's a thriller. Michael Douglas has a very, very bad day in this movie, and we follow him through it. It really is sort of this fish out of water thing. It's like Michael Douglas is a lone person in the jungle. Like, he's never really alone, but he is. Screw it. Just watch this movie. It's so good. I'm not going to be the guy to take it from you if you haven't seen it. I know it's an old movie, but that's just how I am. It's very good. Very fun movie. And a nice Criterion package here. Happy to add that to my collection. If a 4K does come out, especially if it's a studio 4K, comes out and it's missing extras, then I might just stick with the Blu-ray. So I'm not going to be that upset. Anytime I can find an Arrow Video release used, I feel like that's karma saying you need to buy it. And I actually haven't seen this movie, and I know that's going to be an insult to some people, my hardcore movie people, but it just has eluded me. This is from 1972. It is Horror Express. And this has two icons of the early era of horror. It has Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. They are on the Trans-Siberian, the Trans-Siberian Express, the train. And it turns out there is a prehistoric ape that has gotten loose that is carrying an alien parasite. And they got to find a way to contain it. Sounds like a really fun time. And seeing these two guys, kind of in their older years in the 1970s, iconic actors from the early years of horror, should be pretty cool. So let's see what we got inside here. We did get I showed you the disc art there. I just want to see if there's reversible artwork. We don't have a slip here, so then it really becomes which art do I keep. There is reversible art. Right now, I prefer this one. Right now. But who knows? I could switch it down the line. So tell me what you think if you guys have seen this movie. I'm going in cold. Like I said, I haven't seen it. It, has been a movie that has been recommended to me off and on over the years. Here's some Blu-ray ASMR for you. There you go. Let me know what you guys think. All right. So I have one more. I only have one more pickup. All right, this last movie that I got to show you from my pickups, I would have bought a long time ago, but this is Arrow Video's fault for me not buying it. And it is from 2000. It is the 4K release of Pitch Black. I love this movie. I think this is a perfect example of a low-key, kind of lo-fi, sci-fi, if you will, kind of horror, like thriller sci-fi movie kind of combo. It's one of those, it feels independent because its budget is lower, but it's fine. It's like perfect as it is. This is maybe Vin Diesel's best movie all these years later, and he's not even the primary in it. This is a David Chwoe film back when he still kind of somehow sort of knew how to direct films. Vin Diesel is third in the list on the cast. This is a smaller role, and this is early career for him. It's over 20 years old now. This movie's 22, 23 years old almost as of this year. But it stars Radha Mitchell, who is someone I really liked, really still like. I just don't see her as much. I don't really know what has happened to Radha Mitchell. And also stars Cole Hauser, which I think is really funny because every time I hear his name, instead of thinking of the actor, I just want to check the spelling on this movie really quick. But every time, yeah, there it is, Hauser, Cole Hauser. And also, and then you get Vin Diesel third in the cast list. But every time I hear his name, I think of Total Recall, because isn't that Arnold Schwarzenegger's character's name? Quaid, is his new name after his brain reset, but his original name I think was Hauser. Tell me if I'm wrong about that, but it makes me think of that every time. So anyway, basically this is again a science fiction film. This ship crashes on a planet where these monsters live that come out at night, and it just so happens that Vin Diesel's character has some special eyes that allow him to see at night. So he is a criminal being held captive on board the ship. They have to let him loose to help him, and he's like, the bad guy with a heart kind of thing. So there is a booklet, a pretty decent little booklet, and we'll get to why. Oh, here's a nice sort of group shot there. I'll get to why it's Arrow Video's fault that I'm just now buying this. I think that if I remember correctly, there was a production issue when this was being produced that caused Arrow Video to not be able to do a slipcover or a special edition box, or both. But I was just getting into Arrow at that time, and I really loved their special edition boxes. And when I heard this was coming out like this, I thought to myself, I really want this movie, but what's the rush? And I think it still came out at a pretty premium price, close to cheaper than their box sets. It was in the 20s, and maybe 27, something like that. But I kept thinking, if it's just this, I'll get it eventually. And I made a good decision because it is just this, and I got it for $15, 4K Arrow Video. And even in the Arrow sales, I think the cheapest I've seen it brand new was $18. So I know $3, I could have got it new if I waited for a sale, but it wasn't, it's not on sale every time, so it's just a hit or miss kind of thing. Anyway, happy to finally have it in my set. I'm rambling a little bit because I'm very happy for this movie. So there are my pickups, you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any of these films. Let's talk about them. And let me know about your used spots where you shop for movies. Anyway, till next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share with your friends and family, and remind them why physical media is the best way to watch films and TV. I'll see you at home. The theater's still the best. I'll see you guys on the next one.